Go!
NINJAVIEW, number Chicago.
Excellent. I'm going to eat that as soon as we're done.
If you don't, I will.
We can actually introduce you to the hidden people on my left, are the awesome folks who brought us our sushi dinner.
Sushi
tonight.
people!
And this is not just a, oh, we swang by and picked you up sushi. This was actually sushi created by, well, not by you.
Kyle.
Oh, wow. Wave,
And-
Kyle. Sushi master.
And not just a little sushi.
No.
It's a lot of fucking
Here.
sushi.
If you're ever in it's Rockford, right?
What's the name of the place?
Spider Sushi. But specifically Kyle. You should
Cool.
go.
Just ask for Kyle.
there at the
And it's also their anniversary today.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It's our 1 year anniversary.
Yay!
Order him by name.
Order Kyle. If
And
you go.
over to our left is Miss Molly Robeson,
Hello.
who is an incredible musician and songwriter and guitarist, and her friend Meg.
And farther to our left are our interviewers.
But you can't see it.
Ha ha! You won't see me. It's not gonna happen.
Okay, so
Question us.
question us.
Question you.
Which is more important to you? Liberty or equality, and why?
I think they're both important. They're almost the same thing.
It's hard to look at those as an either-or thing.
That's like saying, which of these sushi rolls do you want to eat? I want to eat all of them.
Like, it's like what's more important to you, like freedom or comfort and stability. Like those are more possibly exclusive, but liberty and equality.
Yeah, that's like.
It's a trick question. I'm trying to sound deep. Work with me.
Okay.
I think they're both
Liberty
awesome.
and equality are both important.
I'd say if I had to pick one, liberty. But that's just,
Equality.
I like the word better. It doesn't really have anything to do with the concept.
Yeah, that Q is just kind of random in inequality.
It's fun to shout.
We really wanted the ninja gig. We wanted to sound cool. We tell ourselves we don't. That's my note card. Okay, do you feel your on-stage persona is starting to become separate from who you are as a person? Is that, and I'm not talking about Evelyn, I'm talking about the people you are on stage, is that still you, or is that the person you are on stage?
I think every one of us is a different person in different situations. I mean, the person you are when you're with your mother is not the person you are when you're with your lover or your best friend or your doctor, you know, or your business partner. And I think your stage persona is the same way.
I mean, I think, like, with me, it's more extreme the difference, but I don't feel like it's an act. It's like it's a very logical, real projection of a it's like one angle of who I am.
Some people really say that they have an alternate persona on stage. You know, Marilyn Manson or Alice Cooper or I don't know. Who's someone who famously has an alternate persona on stage? Like someone who really changes who they are and what they stand for, what their basic makeup is.
I'll go with Ziggy Stardust for 500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stephen Colbert. Good point. Sure. And I've never felt that way. I feel like whatever I am on stage is still very true. I couldn't talk a lot of smack on stage and say, oh no, that was just the Manpower persona. I don't really believe that. That's not really what I do.
Okay, next question is there...
It looks like you're carrying a bag of sushi, but it's not.
Just gonna say.
Is there ever a line where censorship is okay, such as what happened with Ice-T's song Cop Killer Off Body Count?
I missed the beginning
I'm sorry.
of the question.
Is there ever a line in art or music where censorship is okay? Like what happened to Ice-T's song Cop Killer off his Body Count album?
Well, I mean, there are rules and then there are situations, but I think censorship in general is a very, very bad idea. The minute you start censoring anything within art, you get into terrible trouble. But if you're talking about trying to protect specific people in a specific situation, then you just have to cope with that situation.
All right.
So going along with censorship, is there anything that you won't sing about? Personally. Because you pretty much write about everything.
I won't get really specific about conflicted feelings I have about a specifically named person. I think that's mean.
Okay.
And harming and an abuse of power.
I mean, we all, I guess, you could say self-censor or filter all the time. Like we you're creating things, for me anyway, I definitely am concerned how people are going to perceive it, and I, sometimes approach things, a little bit more trepidatiously than. I think that's fine. I think it's up to each individual to just draw those lines.
There are definitely things that I think are dangerous topics to talk about. It usually comes down to, for me, it always comes down to, am I going to hurt somebody? Mm-hmm. Because outside of that, offending people doesn't bother me, but usually offending people veers right into the territory of hurting people.
Right.
And that's where I would always draw my line. If something can hurt someone, then I can't do it. If I accidentally hurt someone who is offended by, my vulgar language, that's okay. Because...
rolls into our next question. Do you feel there's any kind of social responsibility of fame? Like, more than just responsibility, is there a point where you become a public enough figure to where you have obligations? Like, do you need to put out a press release on the Rwanda genocide? Do you have to tell me your views about that?
No, absolutely not.
No, I mean, I think, again, it's up to each person to decide their own level of responsibility, given whatever the situation is, If I was personally somehow responsible for
the Rwandan genocide, which of course we know he is,
and I was also a performing artist. I could see how the public might expect some kind of statement about that.
I think it's actually very dangerous for artists to feel that they have to be political and feel that they have to take a stance or make a change, because actually I don't think that that's where artists are the most powerful. I think artists are the most powerful when they simply speak their own personal truth, stay very close to what their vision is and their impulses as artists are. And by doing that, they kind of inspire and infect the people around them to do their own work and jobs and kind of stand in their own power more strongly. And you can see that happening very directly. I don't think it's quite as effective when an artist stands up on a soapbox and says, and you should fucking vote for this candidate because X, Y, and Z. It's not as empowering to the world, I don't think.
Well, that's actually a really cool answer. Okay, and finally, just a general fame question. Like, right now, you seem to literally have a pretty intimate connection with your fan base because they bring you sushi.
We're terrified of these people, actually.
Yeah. We're holding them hostage.
Trust me, you've no idea who I am.
It's true.
Well, then they come rescue
nice.
They come rescue your crew when they get stranded and everything else.
But if you gained like more mainstream type of fame, and you couldn't have the same intimate connection, would you trade that to be able to express yourself to a larger group of people?
That's a really good question. And I was actually having this exact discussion with Sarah from Tegan and Sarah the other night when we saw her in Vancouver. And it's I don't think that's an answerable question for me, because of course there's this part of me that wants to be able to reach a lot of people, and there's something that's really enticing about that, and even narcissistically that's like, oh, all these people could love me. But actually, if this went away, if the ability to just easily let people in and out of my life went away, no, I wouldn't trade it. I like this too much.
I would hope that any growth like that would somehow be enough on my terms that I could continue to
control it.
Well, to feel comfortable within it and not scared.
That's our timer. The way I look at it, actually, I mean, this is kind of a strange night for me. I realized today, I knew I had played here before, I didn't realize how long ago. I played here in 2004 with the Dresden Dolls. It's 6+ years ago. And when I look at the whole scale of what has happened with the Dresden Dolls in my solo career, it's grown so slowly and has stayed so controllable that everything is still very trustworthy. You know, I never had a hit single that all of a sudden brought a bunch of strangers to my show who only knew that one song and who didn't really know me. So I've been, you could look at that as a blessing or a curse. I look at it as a blessing.
Sweet, I think that's time.
Greedy.
Yay, time.